I think of you.
Going to do a chicken show today. Now, everybody knows how to cook chicken. I mean, you chuck it in the fry pan and fry it, okay? But there are other ways to do it. And also, there are some alternatives to chicken. So what I'm going to do is show you some alternatives. I mean, it's all the same technique. All you got to do is learn one way to do it. So here we go. We've got chicken thighs. We're going to put them in the pan with the skin. Oh, I better crank that one up. Put them in the pan with the skin side down. We're not going to put any fat in there at all because there's fat in the skin of the chicken. And if we got too much, we'll pour it off, okay? So we just put that in there. And that's chicken. No, this... I want to show you this. This is my favorite thing to do. Show a lot of people this. I'm not a vegetarian. I like meat, but I also like this. This is tofu. I put the plate on top of it about an hour ago and pressed it down. Now look, I want you to see here, because I pressed it down, all that water got pushed out of it. Okay? So, then we can take the tofu that's been dried down and cut it up. And I'm not going to say pretend it's chicken because that'll insult all the vegetarians out there, but a lot of people, I mean, I know a lot of Buddhist cooks who make fake duck and fake chicken and fake fish and all kinds of things out of strange things, and they call it mock duck. We're going to need oil to cook this tofu because there's no oil in it. But look, you can already see the fat coming out of that chicken. Yeah, see? The fat, look at it. See? There's almost a tablespoonful of fat coming out of there. So, if we put the oil in here, get that up high, and we'll put the tofu, just like we did the chicken, we'll put the tofu in there. This is an Indian recipe. It's called spicy chicken, spicy thighs. It's straight out of the Kama Sutra, this one. And here we go. We've got little bits of tofu in there. That's all, same as this. We'll turn the chicken over. Now look, see well, let's give it a bit more in there while we get everything else ready. I just want to show you some alternatives. Now look, I'm going to put onion in there. So I thought just to show you an alternative, I'd put green onions in the other one. It's the same thing. You're just learning to improvise. That's all we're doing here. So I'm going to cut those onions up into about inch-long lengths. And then I'm going to keep these green bits over here just for decoration later on. You want some garlic? They both want garlic. So we'll get some garlic here. And then now we can flip that over and see that's gone nice. And if you want to take the skin off, this is the time to do it. But some people do, some people don't. What have I got here? This will do. There we are. We've just lightly browned. That's not the best thing here. Let me see what... No, we'll do it with this. Somebody wrote me a letter the other day and said, if you ever find the right tools for the job, your cooking will change, you'll turn into Martha Stewart. I don't know whether that's true or not, but there you are. You can get by with anything. But see, just as the chicken is browning, so is the tofu. All right? That's what you do. You just want to get some sort of color on the outside of it. Now we're going... I know what we'll do. I know what we'll use. These are much the best things to do. We'll get a couple of little oven dishes. Now, if you haven't got a big oven, you've got a toaster oven. You can put that in there. You just take that out of the chicken, out of there, and put it in there. And we'll turn that down for a minute. And we'll take the tofu out of here and just put it in there. Now comes the interesting thing. We put exactly the same spices on the two dishes. So I'll turn this pan off. That was just to show you, all right? In fact, I'll put this pan over. I'll put it there. And into the pan, no I won't, just to be difficult. There we go. I'll put onion. Which was the tofu? This was that's the chicken. And we'll put the chopped up onion in there. This is the tofu. And we'll put the other green onion in there. All right. Now we'll get some garlic. We'll just grate it up a little bit. Put it in there and give it a little bit of a fry. And we'll put in the Indian spices. There we go. Because spices taste better if you fry them. So here we go. We've got some mustard seed. If you haven't got mustard seed, then put mustard in. All right? And if you haven't got mustard like that, put some of that in. It's just the way to do it. I'm going to put mustard seed in there and fry it. I want to put a little bit of chili powder because, you know, you can put curry powder in if you like, but the same in both. This is what I want you to think, that we're putting the same in both. We want a little bit of cumin. Right. And as I say, these are the ingredients of curry powder, but they just taste better if you do it. A little bit of coriander in both. They taste better if you put them in separately. Some coriander. Got that? Okay. Some coriander and some cloves. All of these things are in most curry powders or masalas. Now you give it a good stir to get the flavor coming out of it. And now you can smell this. See? And it's all changing. Get the spices there. Get the spices to go with these things. And then, as soon as you've got the spices going, you put the onions on top of that. And this one is the tofu. We'll put the other kind of onions on top of there. Right. Now, what have we got? 2 dishes ready to go in the oven. All right. And we're just going to take that as... Oh, that's hot onion. Wow. And we'll put it in the oven at 350 degrees for a couple of minutes to start get it going. And then we'll crank the oven up a bit. But I'm going to take a couple of minutes just to leave that in there. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't go away. Just making a little sauce for that chicken. Now this is yogurt, and you can use cream. I mean, they use a lot of cream. And they use a lot of yogurt in India too. But we're doing it to go on these Indian spicy thighs. And so I'm using even no-fat yogurt. So it's a very healthy dish. And all we got to do, we put them, you know, we put them in there. One was tofu and one was tofu and one was chicken. Well, now we've got them going hot. We just put the same sauce on each one. All right, just pour it over the top and pour it over the top of that one. And there you are. That's all you have to do. Just bung it in there. That's going to stay there. We'll crank the oven up at another 25 degrees. And there we go. All right. Now, this Saudi Arabian chicken. Let's have another look at it, all right? Because chicken's just chicken. 38 pounds a year. That's what the average consumption of chicken is in North America. Just think of that, per person. Now look at that. So we'll take the skin off. And if you want to, I like the taste of chicken fat. And chicken fat is actually, on good chicken, got less cholesterol in it and a lot of other things. So if you wanted to, you could put that in and get the fat out of it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in there. Okay? Get the pan hot. That's the important thing. About 2 tablespoonfuls of olive oil. And then a knife, cut it up. This is chicken breast, and it will cook quicker. If you've got thighs, it'll take longer. But it's just, you know, chicken is just chicken. So there you are. Cut it into cubes. And don't bother to do anything with it except just cut it up and have the pan hot enough. Okay? Cut that across there like that. Right. In goes the chicken into the smoking oil. Whoops. And cut it again cut the long way first. Saves you a lot of time. Cut it crosswise and enjoy the noise. Let it bubble, let it pop. And this is what's going to make people want their supper. That and the nice smell of cooking chicken. So we'll put that in there, and we'll just put this board out of the way over here. Okay. There we go. Right. Now, stir that around. You can turn the heat down a little bit, down to medium. When you've got a non-stick pan, a heavy one, if you've got fairly heavy, I mean, I'm talking about those really skinny ones, but you can cook with a much lower heat because there's more conduction of the heat actually in the thing there. Now, I'm going to use saffron in this dish, and I want to show you something. This little pot of saffron here is worth quite a lot of money. A little thing like that's worth about $6 or $8. Okay. What I do with it to get the flavor out of it, I put get a little thing of milk, and see how few things I'm going to put in there. I just put them into the milk. Don't waste it, and let it sit there. Give it a little stir, and you'll see as time goes by, we'll come back and have a look at it, the flavor, the color coming out of it. It's a lovely, intense color. All right, so we're just going to turn this over very quickly. Turn the chicken over so it's good, getting cooked on all the sides of it. Turn it over. Like so. There we go. Get it going with the heat. You can see the color that's getting on, that really nice color. Okay, now we want some garlic. Goes in. Whoops. Quickly. There's the spare one. And it's a good way. Let's see. Yeah. Just to get the garlic in quickly. You can put it in whole if you want to. If I was using chicken thighs, I'd just put it in whole. All right, we want a little bit of cumin, just to give it the flavor. See, these are really nice, and we want a little bit of turmeric or the saffron. Okay, have a look at the saffron. See, it's starting to color coming out of it. You'll see time goes by. So I'm going to put a little bit of turmeric in there to give it color. Right, now we want to stir it again to get the turmeric, to get everything introduced to the, look at the color that's starting to have happening for it now. All right, and what we can do with that, now we start to do good things. You can go some sultanas or raisins, get those frying, and in goes some harissa. Now harissa is basically, it's like the Italian toothpaste, but it's very hot. And that is probably enough for about 3 times. Stir that in there. You buy that in a tube, or else you put in some extra chili pepper. All right. Stir it all together. And it's going to cook for a couple of minutes. And I'm just going to stand and smell it. And you can do the same thing. If it starts to get overcooked, just give me a call and we'll do something about it, okay? Right, chicken. We've got one lot in the oven and tofu. And I suppose to be consistent, we should have done another one of those, but you do exactly the same, all right? So this one is chicken with tomatoes and coriander, and it's not really anybody's total ethnic dish. It's just a dish that I like, and this is what we're going to do. So, get a chicken board and a breast of chicken. This is another really quick one. You can do this when you get in from work in a real hurry. Cut it into half-inch slices. There we go. And then just cut it up into little cubes. And you've got, there we go. Cut it up a little smaller than the other one because we haven't got long to do it. All right, that's how you do. So, oil. About 1 tablespoonful. Chicken. And it goes. Now what I'm going to do, this is what I like about gas stoves and I like about this one. I'm going to move that one over there and put it on the low, very low burner because it is cooked, so I don't want to overcook it. And I'll put this one on here, and that's a high burner. Pretty good. So, got that ready. I've got that ready. I want some coriander or cilantro. So we're going to use fresh cilantro here, like that. And put that extra bit of tomato in there because we've got it. We'll just poke the chicken around a bit. There. And just let it come as quickly as we can up to heat. Now while that's happening, I've got to finish that. This Saudi Arabian, and this is really, really nice stuff. We'll put in with it some honey, about a tablespoonful of honey. And this with the sort of Indian spices is really a nice thing to do. See how the honey makes it look great? And we put in some black olives. All right. You can, if you don't get a chance to take the pits out, don't worry. Put them in there and tell people there's pits in there. You know, you shouldn't have people to dinner who won't listen. There's pits in the olives. And some take their false teeth out and suck on them if that's what we really want to do. But there we go. Look at the colors in here and in that. All that lovely, this color, see this color here is exactly what we're starting to develop in this saffron. The milk, see the colors coming out of it and invading the milk. It's a very Indian thing to do, this saffron. So here we go. Turn the chicken over, starting to cook. The heat's building up in there. Just turn it all over. A little bit of salt. Salt's important. See, we didn't put any salt in that dish because we got olives in it, and the olives have got salt. They are. So that's what we do. We want a little bit of garlic in this one, and just so you can learn, put in, instead of grating the garlic or chopping it up, put in 3 or 4 whole ones, and then you can take them out, and they'll just subtly perfume the whole thing. So here we go. Heat. And let's get some more heat here. Heat and chicken cooking very, very quickly. All right. As soon as you get the heat going, you can see that happening. You can hear it, actually. As soon as you get that going, that one's done. So I turn it off. You dump in a hurry, the tomatoes. All right. And the tomatoes don't need to overcook because they taste better if they don't. Nothing needs to overcook. All these things that take you hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, just put that in there. Pepper. Right. That's what we want. And nothing in this but salt and pepper, tomatoes, a little bit of garlic, and there we go. A little bit of garlic. And some cilantro. That goes in at the very end. All right. Now, let's see what we've got. We're going to put some almonds in with it because that's nice. We'll put a few almonds I got left over, but I'm also going to put a few almonds in there just because I like almonds in things. Give them a stir. If you've toasted them first, so you can put hazelnuts in or even peanuts if they're roasted. Okay. And there you are. See how pretty that's looking? Let's put some of that. Some of those green onions on top of it. I mean, just look at that. You could serve that to anybody and be proud of it. Here we go. Chicken, tomatoes. The tomatoes are just starting to melt. And they're going to take a couple of minutes to melt, but that's okay, because you've got to phone somebody and say, do you want to come to supper, or you've got to have a look at the television schedule to see what's happening. There you are. And that's done. Lemon juice. We forgot the lemon juice. So I'll put that on there. Boy. Hello. Hello. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, all right. Okay, thank you. All right. Can she bring a friend? I thought this was just going to be the two of us. There you are. Be back. Just get this last one out of the oven. Chicken takes a bit longer than tofu to cook. Look at the sauce in that. No, look at that. Isn't that the most gorgeous thing you ever did see with those olives in it? That is wonderful. Look here, look in this pan. See just the tomatoes and see what a rich gravy there is coming in there. Really, really nice. We'll make them all look pretty. Put some even on there. We put some of this on there because that's what's in the dish. And there we go. That's how you cook chicken in a hurry. Chicken thighs are a lot better buy for any kind of chicken stew than breast. They taste better and they have to cook a bit longer because they're tougher meat and they've got bone in them and they've got their own fat on the outside, but they just taste nicer and they're cheaper and I think they're much nicer. That was it. That was easy. Gotta go. So see you next time. Come in. Bye.